Jean-Denis Garon is the Bloc Québécois critic for finance. He joins us now. Monsieur Garon, thank you for taking the time.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
So the government has all but ignored the terms that the Bloc Québécois set out for this budget. I'm wondering what you make of that kind of response from the government.
Well, first I have to say that it's all but a generational budget. It's a budget with a huge deficit, almost 80 billion. And I tend to think that the deficit in the end is going to be larger than that because the minister didn't find all the ways by which he says he's going to reduce deficits. A lot of new spending, and as you said, not so much spending in the right places. And as you know, the Bloc Québécois, we've been very transparent. We've published our demands to the minister and to the government a month ago. There were 6 of them, and when we do the accountancy of that, because at the Bloc we can do proper accountancy, rather the opposite than the minister in his budget, well, we realized that absolutely none of our demands have been met.
None of them have been met, although the budget does set out some provisions that could benefit Quebec, among them the National Infrastructure Program, a Clean Tech Investment Fund, a housing, a recommitment to the Official Languages Act. Are you willing to support the budget on those issues alone? I understand.
Yes. Let us take these things one by one. When you're talking about the infrastructure projects, this morning the prime ministers of the provinces and of Quebec asked the government to invest in infrastructure, in new money in infrastructure, 100 billions over 10 years. When you take away the money that was already there in that budget, we have $9 billion over 5 years. And within this, you have $5 billion for building hospitals. And as you may know, nowadays, you don't even build one hospital from coast to coast with $5 billion. So this is not what we call a big gain for Quebec. When you talk about clean tech, we ask for the abolition of all public subsidies and tax credits to the oil and gas sector. We don't have that. And when you look at the amounts that have been proposed for the environment, and you took away all those rare minerals, all the money that's going to be channeled, the rare minerals strategy, there are $4 million, not billion, $4 million left to protect the environment over 5 years. So I don't know. We can take the elements that you talked about one by one, but that's not what I would call gains. It's rather they're stunts by the minister, but there's no structured plan in there.
So what will the official response be from the Bloc Québécois? We've already heard your leader, Yves-François Blanchet, say that the caucus would not support the budget. Is that where it stands now, that you have already decided that you will not be supporting the government in this?
Well, we've been clear. The minister has decided that he will go buy shoes hundreds of kilometers away from Ottawa instead of negotiating. The result is that he didn't show even a minimum of empathy for our elders, for sick people in Quebec, for our mayors who have to take care of infrastructure. And so we have to discuss what we're going to do in caucus tonight. But you know, I don't know if you're a big fan of suspense movies, but on our side, that won't be one tonight.
Not tonight, meaning what? You're fairly certain you will not be supporting the budget?
Well, I don't see how we could. We've been very constructive. And by the way, the demands that what we asked for amounted to between $6 and $7 billion for the whole country. The Quebec share of what we asked for wasn't even 1/2 of a point of GDP. So there was an easy way to contribute to the well-being of Quebecers, to respond to what the Quebec government asked for, and to properly manage the public finances of the federal government. And the Minister of Finance decided to do none of these 3 things. So what else can we do? We probably won't vote for the budget, and the minister will have to go seek support somewhere else, and I don't know where he's going to find that. That's up to the other parties.
Well, this is a minority parliament, which begs the question then, Mr. Garon. Is the Bloc Québécois willing to go to an election so soon after the last one?
Well, you know what? I've seen, just as you did, all those polls that say more than half of Canadians and more than half of Quebecers don't want to go into an election. I understand that, but when you read the exact same polls, what you see is that people also tell us that their priorities are healthcare, affordability, the quality of life for seniors, and that are the priorities of Quebecers. Now we have to make a decision. Myself, and I believe I can speak for the rest of the caucus, myself as a politician, my goal of career is not to remain in my seat at all costs. My job is to use my seat and to use my vote to get things delivered to Quebecers. And if that's not what we get, our job is going to be to not stand up to vote in favor of the budget if what Quebecers need and what Quebecers want is not in the budget, and that is the essence of our jobs as MPs.
Jean-Denis Garon, thank you for this. Appreciate the time this evening.
My pleasure.